Hey there, welcome to the Reality Calculator tutorial. The Reality Calculator is a fantastic tool to use in your presentations, particularly if you're dealing with clients whose objection is along the lines of, we really know where we want to live, so we want to save up a deposit to get into that area. Likewise, it's a good one for someone who says, oh yeah, look, we don't really know where we want to be, but it's not a good time to buy, so we'd rather just, keep renting where we're renting, living where we're living, and save up a deposit. Fantastic objection buster for those kinds of objections. It's very simple format. It's in 3 sections. One at the top where it talks about where they would like to live. The second section is how we can help them in a stepping stone to get where they want to live. And the third section down at the bottom is what happens if literally they, it says here, do nothing, but that's effectively what it is, stay where they are and continue to save the deposit for the dream home. One thing that I like to do when people have this objection is introduce the idea of the stepping stone property. Let's get you into something so that the bricks and mortar can grow while the market can grow under you while you're in a home, rather than you paying to live somewhere renting while you're saving a deposit. So let's kick it off. First section, I don't really need to put the name in here, but let's say John. And where do you want to live, John? Oh, look, north of the river. We quite like Darch. Okay, great. That's fantastic, John. And how much is it going to cost up there? Oh, well, yeah, we've seen some places for around $550,000. Great. Okay. Well, let's put that in there. $550,000. So obviously we're not going to be able to get a Keystart loan there, John. So what's the minimum deposit? Look, yeah, we'd like to save a 10% deposit. That's our goal. Great. Okay, so it's done some calculations here. Don't worry about this massive number. It'll be fixed in a minute. So the minimum deposit you're going to need, John, is $55,000. How much do you think you and your partner can save per month? Well, look, we've talked about it. We think we can save $700 a month. Okay, so given those figures there, line 18, it will take, assuming that Darch does not grow at all, that there's zero growth in the suburb, it's going to take you 6.5 years to save that $55,000. So you're going to be renting for another 6.5 years while the market is going up. Now, the average growth in the area, let's have a look at realestate.com or rewa.com.au and have a look at what the average growth is in the area. I don't have it up here in front of me, but let's say it's an average of 3% per annum. So now what's happening, you see, is that in 6.5 years, the property will now be worth $657,000 because of this 3% growth. So the new deposit has jumped up over 10 grand, and it's now going to take you 7.8 years, not 6.5. So for almost 8 years, you're going to be renting just so that you can get into this dream home. Now, what if we were able to help you get into a home now, and instead of renting for the next 8 years, you're paying off a mortgage, you own your own home, you're taking advantage of the equity growth that's coming into that house that you're living in. So let's say that we can get you into one of our Lansdale properties. Into Lansdale, because of the pricing there in Lansdale, we can get you in with Keystart. So that's a 1% deposit. Oops. So the purchase price, let's say $410,000 for a nice place there in Lansdale. So we're only going to need $4,100 as a deposit. The average growth, again, I don't have it in front of me, but let's make it just for this purposes of illustration, a little bit less than our target or our dream suburb there. Let's make it 2.5. So the time it will take you to save where you want to be, that 7.8 years is reporting directly from here. The time it's going to take them to save to get into the property up here. So in the 7.8 years that you are living, John, in Lansdale, the potential equity that you could have in the home in Lansdale, $80,000. So rather than trying to save this $65,000 and continuing to rent, you're actually letting the home do that saving for you in the form of equity. So down here, this is the real kicker. How much rent are you paying now, John? We're paying $350 a week. Okay, $350 a week. The 7.8 years it's going to take you to save to get into your dream suburb. The total rent that you're going to be paying at $350 a week, $142,000, John, in the 7.8 years, $142,000. Now we're going to add to that the $80,000 that you could be accruing in the form of equity if you use a stepping stone property in Lansdale. Going to add that, and together, John, $222,000 in opportunity cost. You are missing out in the form of money that's leaving your pocket and money that is not coming into your pocket via the equity that you're not generating. Those two together, $222,000 you're missing out on because you want to wait to save the deposit to get into your dream home. So we can instead get you into, maybe it's not your dream home, it is your first home, not your last home. So you jump in here, you get yourself some equity, you can also continue to save some of that money as well if you'd like, and then after 5 years, 7 years, 10 years time, that is when you jump into your dream home. And this $222,000 is in your pocket, not in someone else's, or didn't even come into your pocket in the first place. So a very powerful tool, the reality calculator. I've literally seen people's eyes go wide open. I've seen people's jaws go a little bit slack. People become lost for words. People have this idea that saving for the deposit means that they'll spend less because their mortgage will be lower. Really, it's just an excuse because they're paralyzed. They don't want to move right now. But something like the reality calculator showing them the actual financial cost of sitting on your hands is a very, very powerful tool. At the end, you can just click the reset form button, and it's ready to take your next clients on that journey of discovery. Hope that's of use to you. It's certainly been of use to me. Happy selling.